The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad with national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker, WJLX radio voice Brett Elmore, and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented to you by Pearl River Resort Casino in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play, featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, and celebrating 30 years of excellence. Also brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Let's toast. Hashtag to the Screwballs. R&R Cigars, home of the Alabama Victor cigar. Unique bar on the Strip. Home of the NFL, MLB, Premier League package. Catch all the games at Unique Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Pond Royale, located at 1019 McFarland and Northport. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com. And Styx's Tractor and Tree Service in South Alabama. Affordable pricing and customer service guaranteed. Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
All right, roll tide, everybody, and thanks for hanging out with us on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show with Jake Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie, and look, we're going to talk Alabama. We're going to talk Georgia, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. The next 2 hours, we're going to preview number 4 against number 2, 6:30 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. On the show today, we have Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer. It's got to be a big show if you got the head coach on, and we do. Clint Lamb from Cover Crimson is going to be here. Kevin Sport from Gatin and Grillin, our segment's going to be here. We call him Connected Kevin. We'll tell him that to his face, though, on here today. He's going to be on the show as well. We'll hear from Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN the Zone. This is the Bama Football Tailgate Show. It's brought to you by Pearl River Resort in Philadelphia, Mississippi, a short drive from Tuscaloosa. Vegas-style sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play $50 at the sportsbook and get a dancing rabbit round of golf for just $40. And again, I'm Mick Gillispie with national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker, number 4, Alabama 3-0, number 2, Georgia 3-0. Good to see you, man. Roll Tide. Look at you.
Man, nice to be back. Nice to celebrate.
Innisfree.
Celebrated a lot of victories in this place. And, one of those victories was we got back from Athens and wore out the Dogs in 2015. I'm hoping this is a little bit of a, pregame to that.
Yeah, well, you've been here before, and I've been here before, but you've really been here before. I mean, like when we were at Galette's, I'm telling you, like, hey, I snuck out of the back at this place. Like, I had a lot of fun at this place. I was at Innisfree too, but my college days were spent at Galette's. Your days were spent right here hanging out.
Did Tripp own this place?
Tripp owned it, man.
When you were in college?
But I remember the original one, and then I remember where we're at right now.
Yeah, huh.
The original one was downtown. Oh, look at this. Our friends from Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey are here, man. Look at this thing. Look, for you guys that are watching on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, you're going to see this. And for those of you guys that are hanging out with us on radio, we have a shot ski. You know about a shot ski? Put my shot right in the ski. Right here, Jake, as we hang out.
I hear you.
All right. I see you're a little apprehensive of the shot ski.
Yeah, a little too much going on here.
No, man, like it's a ski and you put your shot in there. And then look, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to toast. Let's toast the boys.
All right, sounds
Let's
good.
toast. But look, we're getting ready. Kevin's got one. Roll Tide, everybody. This is what the show's all about. Man, that is delicious. That's a peanut butter.
You can taste victory in that.
Woo! I love the taste of that. All right. How do you reflect on that 42-10 win over Wisconsin?
It looks like we're coming together. You know, we finally have our offensive line. I think the rotation figured out. We look physical up front, got a lot of movement. Jalen and the receiving core, I thought, were on time, looked a lot more comfortable back there. Jalen was anticipating a lot of throws and getting them out like he knew exactly where they were going to be. And so, love what I saw, and kind of a perfect introductory game into the Georgia week.
I felt like Alabama was dominant up front. I thought that was the most important part of it. The offensive line finally intact, finally back together, able to dominate, run the football. And I think that a lot of the things that Alabama wants to do hinge on that offensive line. And Parker Brailsford's been great.
Yep.
Eliza Pritchett manning the right guard spot. Caden Proctor back from Iowa and now healthy after getting hurt before the first game even started. He's ready to go. Tyler Booker and Jaden Roberts. I like this offensive line a lot.
And Caden Proctor being injured, coming back third game, looked like he has not missed a beat. Looks like he's, fresh and ready to go. I think and in terms of the long term, you got to think that was probably pretty good for our team that Caden was able to get healthy for 2 weeks. We get a lot of guys to get experience. South Florida gave us a lot of different looks where we had to really communicate and really decipher what they were bringing. I think it was a good learning experience for a bunch of guys that hadn't played as much as Caden. And now that he's back, I look for this offensive line to really play well Saturday.
What do you think about Alabama's offense as a whole right now?
Again, the offensive line I feel really good about. The run game feel really good about. You got two really great running backs. Jalen Milroe, he's got a lot of running back talent himself. The only thing that I would say, I'm not even going to say it's a weakness. We got a lot of talent on the outside in that receiving core. But what I would say is it takes time between quarterbacks and receivers to build that chemistry and game time. Looked like we made a lot of strides against Wisconsin, but this is going to be a little bit of a different matchup. You're going to see a lot of different things from Georgia. You got Kirby Smart over there dialing up pressures and giving us some looks we may not have seen before. And Jalen's going to have to really anticipate well, get the ball out, and we're going to have to be on time getting the ball out to those guys. And he's really going to have to play well. And I think it all hinges on that play and how we're able to respond to pressures.
Guys, on the show, again, we've got a great show in store for you, and we're going to get you ready for Alabama and Georgia kickoff at 6:30. This is a big game. It's not as big as they once were just because of the college football playoff. Instead of getting 2 or 4 teams in, you get 12 in. But with that said, you always want to dominate. This is going to help Alabama recruiting. Some huge recruits are in town right now, including what is currently the number 2 recruiting class in college football. Keelan Russell is going to be here. Caleb Cunningham, our guy from Mississippi, we've had on the channel a bunch of times. He's going to be in town. Was at Auburn. He said, I didn't see what I wanted to see. I like this guy.
Yeah.
You're fitting in, buddy.
Yeah, with the storm coming through, I saw where Auburn was in had a lot of precipitation yesterday, and they were in the red zone of the weather map. And I was told that was the first time they've been in the red zone all season.
Hey, guys, we're brought to you by New Life Art, newlifeart.com. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate for a discount at newlifeart.com. Jake will tell you he's actually the centerpiece of a Daniel Moore print. Let me just, for those of you guys that are watching on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, boom, there he is right there. I actually got a picture with Daniel Moore when I interviewed him last week with your print. Like you're in the middle of us.
Did you tell him the Ryan Anderson sack against Tennessee needed to happen?
Ryan asked me, and I said I did tell him that. He started laughing. I said we need to have a Ryan Anderson print.
Yeah, the sack,
man. Anyway, guys, promo code Bama Tailgate. Take advantage of that discount right now. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk more about this game. Again, Coach DeBoer coming up. Big Sexy Elmo is going to be on the show. Your favorite guy.
Our boy.
Our boy, and more. So we get you ready for Alabama, Georgia. More of that coming up right here on the show. Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show with Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie hanging out you from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa. We like it so much. We got the drums banging, and we're ready to get this thing going and talk a little bit of Crimson Tide football. I mean, this is a big game for Alabama, and it's a game that Alabama needs to win, I would say. Jake, not necessarily to make the college football playoff, but I feel like it would help recruiting.
Well, I think it sets the tone for the Kalen DeBoer era. We've talked about this, I don't know how many times, but I do think he is the best possible replacement for Coach Saban. You know, you watch his mentality. You know, you see the way he coaches. You see the way players respond to him. You see the way that he recruits and has really bounced back after what everybody thought was going to be a disastrous retirement from Coach Saban. With all the transfers, I mean, he built his roster, you know, kept everybody together for the most part. We had a lot of leadership within the team. But I think he's going to keep that same tradition and win games like, you know, it's a little early to say like Coach Saban, but he's going to keep Alabama. And winning this game goes a long way. There's going to be a lot of recruits here. For everybody to see that this is still the same Alabama, the same energy. I mean, you look around right now, there's people all over this town excited about this game. And, football is what Alabama is, you know. And so I think for all these recruits to be in town, see this game, we win this, I think it goes a long way in terms of building stability within the next few recruiting classes.
Alabama's offensive line dominated against the Badgers. What did you see when you saw those guys play together for the first time?
I mean, physicality. You know, it's something that we've seen for 17 years with Coach Saban. A lot of movement up front, just blowing guys off the ball, allowing your playmakers, Jalen Milroe, Justice Haynes, giving them lanes to run through and living off or showing us that Alabama brand of football.
How important is Alabama's line versus Georgia's defense today?
I think it's key, right? You know, we can't have a lot of negative plays. We've got to be able to pick up pressures. The running backs are going to be big. You know, we got to be able to communicate, pick up the right guys. Jalen's got to see it, get the ball out. Can't get behind the sticks. You know, in games like this, when maybe the wrong play is called or we get beat up front. We've got the players to still make plays when everything doesn't go right, but we can't beat ourselves. And as long as we can play disciplined football, I think we got a really good shot at beating Georgia.
He's Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us wherever you might be listening across the state of Alabama. There's Holt. And Holt, you brought me another one of these. All I wanted was a Yingling, Holt, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to give this to Coker right here. Take that. Just take that and give this away. This is Yingling swag. Thank you. Here, take the Frisbee. Holt Clark in the house. You got to have a Holt Clark.
Throw that Frisbee at Mick. What's wrong with him?
Thanks, Holt. All right, look. Justice Haynes, Kendrick Law, where the hell have they been? MIA.
Hey, the season's young.
Okay.
The season is young. Okay. You know, I do remember 2015 when everybody thought Coach Saban was was sailing off into the sunset. Alabama's dynasty was over. And that was right about week 3, right when we lost to Ole Miss. Everybody's saying the same thing. The season's young. You're not going to know who we have until week 8. And there's a lot of growing to do between now and then. Hopefully we can just, win the games we need to win and stay in playoff position. But I think, again, you're not going to really know what this Alabama team is until week 6, week 8. And we're looking pretty good for it to be this early in the season.
See, I think Justice Haynes is going to have a big day today because Dad was a Georgia legend. He's from Georgia, 5-star, came to Alabama. I think he's going to be ready for this opportunity. I think he's going to be fired up. Kendrick Law's been blocking, but we haven't seen him catch the ball. Did you play with anyone on your team that didn't get the ball a lot, and you were like, hey, early in the season, I got to get this guy the ball more? Or you guys go in the meetings and, Coach Saban or Coach Kiffin are like, we got to get the ball to this particular guy, and you start hitting him with passes?
I mean, I wouldn't say there was a guy we need to get the ball to more. I think we had to get on the same page and grow together, from a chemistry standpoint. Calvin Ridley was a true freshman that year, and Robert Foster was the initial starter. He gets hurt. Calvin Ridley goes in. And we all knew what Calvin Ridley was, and that was an outstanding player. But, me and him had to get on the same page. It was kind of right off the bat. Robert Foster gets hurt against Ole Miss, and Calvin's thrown in the fire as a true freshman. And, as the season progressed, we kind of feel each other out and figure it out. He becomes one of the best playmakers in terms of a receiver in Alabama history. And, it just takes time. And I would say later on in the year, Calvin Ridley was the guy that everybody was like, hey, we need to get some one-on-one matchups and get him the ball. Having said that, we had Richard Mullaney and Ardarius Stewart and O.J. Howard.
You had some guys.
I mean, there was a lot of weapons out there. As long as the ball was in the air and headed in their direction, there wasn't too much complaining going on.
We're at Innisfree this week. Next week, we have Twisted Your Arm. You got the wife. You're going to be in Nashville. Big Sexy Elmo's going to be there. Think about that. Kevin, you going to be there? You might be in Nashville. Is Trip, you going to be in Nashville next week? We already got the screwball, Trip. Are you going to Nashville for the game? Well, we're ready for more. When your segment comes, 3:15. You be ready? Yeah, we need some. He doesn't have any of the RMFT gear. So you get this guy hooked up.
I need some Innisfree stuff too.
He said, look at this guy.
You're gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah. Brett, just know that. But we're going to be at Live Oak next week in Nashville. Trip, try to help us make that the place, man. You'll be in Nashville. Yes, you're going. And you're going to Live Oak. Music Row.
Oh, gotta play golf.
We played a little golf. Why weren't you at the Striker Strong golf tournament? Where were you at the Striker Strong golf tournament? Okay. Well, we can't wait to talk about this game with you. Over some iced screwballs. And look at all the swag we got for your people. That's what we do. We're going to be. This is what we do.
That's right.
That's right. Look at this guy. But this guy here is so happy to be back home.
Oh. A lot of celebrations have been had in this place.
Well, get sharp because you're on second hour, pal. All right, that's a trip. We're going to be.
Fix your hair.
Yeah, fix your hair.
For all our listeners,
if they would have seen us at the Striker Strong golf tournament yesterday. Woo. And thank Robbie Glenn for having us there, man. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, Robbie. I know we've talked about him a bunch, but to put that kind of event on, and the people of Birmingham supporting him the way they do, says a lot about that community and Robbie as a person, raising money for his child. I know it's been a struggle, and he's a great kid, but says a lot about him in terms of just how much effort he's put in to raise money for a good cause.
You guys are coming to Tuscaloosa. You better swing by Innisfree and yell roll Tide at Tripp when you see him. Milroe versus Georgia's defense. You've been against Georgia's defense. It wasn't with Kirby. It was with Mark Richt, but it was a good team. You went on the road there.
Him and Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah, him and Jeremy Pruitt. Break it down, though. What do you think about Milroe versus their defense?
Man, watching us this season, again, it's so early. We have really good games, and we have our moments where we hurt ourselves, we penalize ourselves, we get behind the sticks. As long as we don't hurt ourselves, we're going to be okay. But again, as you hear Kirby talk about it, when you have Jalen Milroe, a guy like that who's that dynamic of a runner, and he, despite what some people say, he is a great thrower of the football. He makes a lot of plays that most quarterbacks across the country can't make. And so when you have to prepare for somebody that can run the ball the way that he can, you basically have to guard against two running backs, and you also have to cover on the back end. I think the difference in this game is if we connect on some deep balls, relieve some pressure in the backfield, I think that is the complete and total difference in this game. Keep the pressure off. Don't allow them to bring some exotic looks. I'd like to see us hurry up, quicken the pace a little bit so Georgia doesn't have time to settle in and bring what they want to bring. Don't allow them to change personnel too much and really dictate to them what we want to do offensively.
My nephew, Robbie Michael's in the house right here. Our new intern, man. Roll Tide, man, freshman at Alabama. All right, look, we're going to come back, like and subscribe to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. And when we come back, we got Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of Alabama. All right, guys, roll Tide. We'll be back at Innisfree and talk more Alabama right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out with us on a game day.
Alabama PALS, People Against a Littered State, is a statewide organization that has many programs that can benefit your county, school, city, or community. The Alabama Adopt a Mile program, the Don't Drop It on Alabama Spring Cleanup, the Alabama Coastal Cleanup, and the Alabama Clean Campus program are all programs available to you and your groups. Join with Alabama PALS and let's all do our part in making Alabama truly Alabama the Beautiful. For more information, go to alpals.org. Sponsored by Alabama PALS, ALDOT, the ABA, and this station.
Is your business facing new challenges such as higher employee wages and lower workforce participation? Luckily, there's a local solution. As your Alabama Career Center system, we make running your business easier. We assist both small and large businesses throughout the state. To take advantage of all we offer, visit your local center or find us online at labor.alabama.gov. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association, an equal opportunity employer. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities.
We know texting and driving is dangerous and tailgating causes crashes. We know that road rage doesn't get us down the road faster. So let's all help each other and focus on driving safely, especially around work zones. Speeding or any other dangerous driving moves through a work zone will cost you double the normal fine. Save your money and possibly save your life or the life of a road worker. Slow down, put away the phone, and enjoy the ride. For more information, visit drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, ALEA, the ABA, and this station.
Work is a part of all of us. We know that the world around us has changed, and that's why the Alabama Department of Labor is here to get you back to working hard. Work is a part of all of us. Let us help you get back to it by visiting your local career center or alabamaworks.alabama.gov. Funding provided by the USDOL, ETA, and Federal WIOA, an Equal Opportunity Employer Program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request. Brought to you by this station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me.
As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by the Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Do you know the facts about Mpox? The most visual symptom of Mpox is a rash. The rash can be preceded by fever, headache, muscle aches, backaches, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, and a cough. Symptoms start within 3 weeks of exposure to the virus. If you are at higher risk, protect yourself by avoiding close skin-to-skin contact with people and get vaccinated. To learn more about Mpox and determine if you are at risk, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/Mpox. Sponsored by the Alabama Public Health Department, ABA, and this station.
Your picks count. Also, if you spend $50 at the sports. So go play Dancing Rabbit for $40. Take advantage of that. Football coach Kalen DeBoer on the Bama Tailgate Show. Going to remind you guys, as always, brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. And now's a great time to go over and make your picks count. Also, if you spend $50 at the sports book, you can also go play Dancing Rabbit for $40. So take advantage of that. It's the Augusta you can play. Coach DeBoer, thanks for coming on. I got to tell you, what a great start to your Alabama coaching career. Recruiting right off of the start of it, and then you've continued to connect with the alumni, and then making a winning culture. What's the experience been like for you coming to Alabama and having to replace Nick Saban?
Yeah, it's been an awesome start, as you said, and it's been a lot of work when you kind of think through, as you were describing all of that. You know, going back to January, there's just so much that has happened, and so. The football piece right now, it's fast and furious, week to week. You're just getting ready for the next opponent, but there's been so much work that's been put in, whether it's our staff or our players, and it's been an awesome journey up to this point. Just enjoying all the great people you get a chance to meet that are here to support our program, and the energy and excitement around each and every Saturday has been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Who gave you the best advice for taking this job? And I've been around the Alabama program for 30 years. This is not a normal football coaching job. There are so many elements to it outside of just going out on the field and calling plays. But who gave you the best advice, and what was that advice?
Here's the thing, and this happened so fast. It happened over the course of, I don't know, maybe a little over 24 hours from a Thursday interview to being offered the job on a Friday to being here by Friday night. In all honesty, there wasn't a lot of advice. It was more of just trying to decide on what to do and just how this would go. As Greg Byrne was going through that process on his end, I was trying to do the same thing on mine. But if there was any advice afterwards, it's just continue to do the things that we've done over the years to be successful. And I just take the advice that I've given myself over many years, that's to embrace the great things that are at each program, and in particular, now that we're here at Alabama, all the history, all the tradition, all the great people that made this place what it is, just embracing all that. And that's what makes it fun, because this place is different. This place is special, and embracing the energy, embracing the expectations. The alternative, as I've said many times, is to not have expectations, to not have that energy. And that doesn't sound like much fun.
No, and I got to tell you, talking about fun, Coach, one of the things I've talked about you just watching from afar, covering the team every day, is the positive energy that you've brought to the program, the going out of your way to do local media and shows like this, and how much we appreciate that you've incorporated that into what you do since you arrived. So thank you so much for that. And how, comfortable are you, and what's it like going out and doing shows like this and the national shows and all of the things that you do to promote the program?
Well, it's a lot of fun in my mind, because I get to talk football. I get to talk about our team. I get to talk about people that I really enjoy being around, and that are easy to, to sell, I guess. When you got players that put everything into it, that are first class, and just great athletes and great humans, it's fun to talk about them. It's fun to talk about our staff. And so, finding these opportunities is a great thing, and just continue to spread the message of what we're trying to do within the walls, because I think so much, is just trying to get figured out when you really don't know what's happening in between, each and every Saturday, and trying to give at least a little bit of insight on, the great things that are happening, and also the adversity that you're going through, to help people understand, what the process is like and what the journey is that we're on.
A lot of people that didn't think you were going to be able to pull off this job, and it's obvious that you're the perfect fit. We all feel like that. One of the things that you were able to do is get Ryan Williams to come back to Alabama. He had committed, and then he left, and then he came back, and he's been such a story. Before you tell me about what he's like as a player, what did you say to his family? And what did you say to him to talk him back into Alabama after he decommitted?
I don't know if it was one specific thing. I think I don't want to put words in his mouth. I think he felt like this was probably the place he should be at. And then once he got a chance to meet myself and the staff and hear the vision, see what we had done before, and how, his impact could be, just on the level that you're already seeing. And I know that we've just scratched the surface. But when it comes to the passing game, when it comes to the style of offense, but also when it comes to just how his personality can come into and add to the culture of our program, and how it would gel and mix with coaches, it's like Coach Shepard, and myself, and, Coach Sheridan, and everyone here. I think he saw that. He's like, this is a place that could feel like home. And, it's going to be an awesome experience too, because the system and the offense will have concepts, have a priority on, the things that he can do, the skill set he brings to the table that helps us win football games.
Yeah, and when you were at Washington or some of your other stops, Fresno State and South Dakota, did you ever run across anyone like Roll Tide Willie?
No, I can't say I have. We got him out to practice one time, and, he's got an energy of his own, that's for sure. And so, it's cool having a lot of people that are really into your program, and that's vast across the state, obviously within our community, and that's a great example right there with Roll Tide Willie.
Yeah, funny, like the passion that Alabama fans have, and and have famous Alabama fans. I've always wanted to ask you this, because I feel like sometimes people do mistake this, but do you think that people mistake kindness for weakness sometimes when it comes to football coaches?
I hope not. I don't think, I think that, to me, it's about coaching. It's about what coaching is, and coaching is trying to maximize what you can get out of your players. And there's different ways to do that. There's different styles of player. And I think that coach different ways, and you have to have the ability to adjust to that. You have to help, find the right people that can come into your program that want to be the best they can be. And that's where it starts, is finding those coaches, finding those players. But to me, it's about building a relationship. Well, each guy, responds differently. And, to me, I got to be able to adjust. Our coaches need to be able to adjust to what triggers these players, what triggers them to want to go out there and reach their full potential. One thing that's been just so awesome here is our guys are very self-driven, and being able to appeal to that. I think sometimes there's a balancing act of making sure they have perspective. I don't want to pull back from what their strengths are, but I think having perspective and helping them tap into each other's strengths, because they all have a little something different. That's what I try to do amongst our staff, is have the staff tap into each other's strengths. Look, we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. And, the key is how you bring it all together to become the best team you possibly can be.
Here we go.
They call him Big Sexy, coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy, throwing out those Alabama thoughts, sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that before in your life, Coach.
I couldn't hear what was being said if there was something that was going along with it, but a lot of questions were raised in that last 30 seconds or so that kind of wondered about. So,
Coach, it's sort of like, the Roll Tide Willie thing. It's like that movie Vegas Vacation, where Cousin Eddie finally meets Wayne Newton in the casino. He's like, "Can I be your bodyguard?" You know what I'm saying? I got five questions for Coach. I know we're pressed for time. You followed a legendary coach in Nick Saban, but the key to his success, I heard through the grapevine, was his passion for Little Debbie snack cakes and the oatmeal cream pies. Do you have a favorite Little Debbie snack cake?
I don't know what it is. If I had to take one of those, the Star Crunches, that would be mine. I don't think that qualifies under maybe what you're asking. Maybe it does, but
yeah, it does.
It does. That would be it. The Star Crunch. Now, if I had to have another second one, it would be the oatmeal cream pie as well. So, I've heard that was a pretty popular item here around the football facility.
Apparently
for many years, yeah.
Apparently so. Believe it or not, I've eaten a few of those in my life. We're riding around Tuscaloosa, you and I, on a Friday afternoon. What's on Coach DeBoer's playlist? I want to know.
Oh, yeah. I've answered this question a lot, and I think people probably getting bored of just a very general 80s classic rock, probably and then a lot of the, maybe the Van Halens, then also the Boston, some Journey, some, the Def Leppard, a lot of the 80s stuff there. And then I like the country too. So you go full swing to kind of the current country, top hits and all of that. So a little bit of everything. I got two daughters. They love their music. And so, you get a little bit of that adds to what it was back, when I was their age.
I did extensive research on your coaching career, and I found that you coached in places where there were no Waffle Houses. And I don't understand that. Are you a Waffle House guy? And if you are, what's your go-to on the menu?
You know what? I need to become one, I think. But that I can't say just because of what you just mentioned. Places I've coached, that hasn't been a thing. So had to go out of my territory to experience it. So I can't speak very well on and articulately on anything to do with the Waffle House. But I do know that I need to get that figured out while I'm here.
You need to get that figured out because it, the go-to is going to be probably the All-Star scrambled eggs, a little bacon, a little bit of hash brown smothered covered chunked. You'll learn the lingo. You'll learn the lingo. Which celebrity do you wish you could be friends with?
I know a celebrity that I've become really just, I think, through the sports world. And unfortunately, Kobe Bryant's not with us anymore, but that would be one. I think just the more I coach, the more I understand the passion he had. That would be one. And, we got pictures of him when he was here, meeting with the team and doing his thing. When Coach Saban, brought him in. That just, just seems so cool and an amazing experience. So I'd have to probably pick him.
And final question for you, Coach. If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, good question.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. One of my favorites, just because of where I grew up, was Small Town by John Cougar Mellencamp.
There you go.
So that would be one probably that would be out there, just because you always remember your roots.
Yeah, no kidding. And I think we became best friends right here. I really do.
I feel that. I
feel the bond, and I think we've become best friends. It's going to be great. You're doing a great job, Coach. No, I appreciate you and appreciate your time, but you're doing a great job, and we do this Bama show every day, and man, enjoy watching the product on Saturdays.
They play this right here. Hanging out with Kevin Sport, talking Alabama. Big segment coming up for you right now. Just give me a quick synopsis of what you guys did on Gatin and Grillin.
Silver Fox and Barbecue came through with some big tri-tips on this one, and Taylor Hicks joined us. We got a great young artist, Andrew Applegate. It's going to be really cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Taylor? Like you're here? You're here for Gatin and Grillin? Let's do this, man.
Gatin and Grillin, y'all.
Good friends, good music, good food make a great tailgate. And so does our buddies at D Community.
That's right.
You got to get in it
to win it.
Hit the QR code for a parlay and win some cash and prizes.
Carl!
Hey, man.
What's up, Taylor? How's it going on?
Look at that.
The
Silver Fox.
I had to try to step up my game today, man. So I called my man, Doug Hassel.
Oh, Doug.
Hassel Cattle Company. Texas-grown Wagyu beef. Sent me these beautiful tri-tips. I got a Conecuh popper today.
Conecuh popper.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sweet. What's in that popper?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you here shortly. Not right now.
Okay. You know what? Walk us through it, dude.
All right, dude. Once you take these tri-tips out of the package, it's got a silver skin over it. And all that off, so your rub adhere to it. So I got a restaurant in Goldsboro, Crawling Shells, and the steak shake that we use. First coat, I got a beef rub I've been working on for about 3 years. I hit it with that beef rub there at the end. And that's your 2 seasonings that are on that right there. And what you want to do is just let it sit for about 30 minutes and marry up.
Okay.
And we're going to do a reverse sear on this.
Ooh.
That means I'm going to cook it low and slow around 200 degrees, bring it up to about 100 degrees internal. This Louisiana grill to about 375, 400. And then you want to sear it. You want to get a good sear on it. Jalapeno popper, split in half. I took the seeds and the veins out, get most of the heat out. Then I took cream cheese, cheddar cheese, John Boy and Billy chicken rub, John Boy and Billy pork rub, John Boy and Billy original grilling sauce, mixed all that in, stuffed it down in that pepper, and set that Conecuh sausage right on top of it. And wrap that bad boy in bacon, and then seasoned up with John Boy and Billy pork rub on the outside, because you want some sweet to go with that heat.
Hey, man, this is just amazing, as usual. We need to let you get to grilling.
Yeah, I can't wait.
After the break, Andrew Applegate, one of the up-and-comers in Nashville, is going to play his brand new single, I Don't Love You Anymore.
Let's take a minute to talk about our friends at D Community and the weekly Parlay Challenge. Kevin and the guys are awesome on Gatin and Grillin. You know that. But what everyone needs to know is there's a really fun hidden part, which is the parlay challenge. Basically, each week, everyone needs to pick their winner and total points to get an entry in the weekly challenge. And there's lots of prizes. We do best picks and random prizes drawn from everyone who entered. Plus, there's a leaderboard. So if you do it each week, there'll be season prizes, and those who play each week will have better chances to win those prizes. So scan the QR code or the link on the YouTube bio, or go to dcommunity.io, and you will see the tailgate promo. That's it. Have fun and good luck, and roll Tide.
You just had to wear that color on the set.
Yeah, sure.
Man, Andrew, thanks for being in Gatin and Grillin, dude. How long you been a Boss man?
8 months, bro.
So there's still time. We might convert you before you leave Gatin and Grillin.
Maybe, honestly, yeah.
How'd you become a Vols fan?
Moved to Tennessee. My woman was a Vols fan, so, had to do it.
What do you think about the season?
It's going pretty good. Defense looks really good. Offense looks really good, too. But defense, I think, is awesome.
So tell me about your musical heroes.
I love Merle Haggard. Favorite of all time would definitely have to be George Jones. It's just what me and my dad, that's what I grew up listening to, riding around the truck with him.
Favorite song?
He Stopped Loving Her Today. Yeah.
You're in the studio right now, writing, recording?
Yes, sir. So we've got an EP coming out here very soon. It's a 5-song EP, and we've been working really hard on it. Really excited about it. It's a blessing from God, really. And
we're glad to have you. What are you going? What's the single you're going to play?
So I Don't Love You Anymore. It's what it's called. It was actually one of those songs where I jotted down like the first line. We finished the song in about 30 minutes. It was just one of those songs, there it is.
Yeah, man. Well, it's the ones you live,
Oh, yeah.
Take it for a spin.
Yes, sir, brother. I ain't seen myself in days. Too many tears rolled down my face. She was here, now she's gone. Well, asking myself, where did it go wrong? Brown hair and brown eyes made me fall. Last call, shooting back double, shooting a couple, living too fast. When she left, I was in trouble, didn't know that call was the last. One time I heard her voice scream, last time I heard her ring thrown across the floor. And I don't love you anymore.
Man, you bring real to the table,
Thank you,
brother.
brother.
That
Good stuff.
Great song.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Great
This song's better than shirtless.
Yeah, I'll get you an orange one of these days.
No, you won't. All right, Carl.
What's up, Carl?
What's up?
Hey, man, let me tell you something.
What's happening over here?
Oh, we're great. Andrew was great.
Man.
Andrew sounded great. You'll love it.
I missed you,
I
man.
think he's got a hit on his hands.
Sounds good. I hope I got a hit on my hands right here.
You look like you got a hit on
you
your
do,
hands.
man.
Oh, it's done beautiful, man. Let's try one.
Go for it.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
I'm on. Just keep going. Why not?
Oh, man. That's Flavor City right there, bro.
What's up?
Hey, look at that.
What's up, fellas?
You come into the place.
My
The party's
goodness.
out.
I'm going to make you guys a Bloody Mary, and we're going to make a Tennessean Bloody Mary.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Sweet.
You
Music
do
to
that,
my
I'm
ears.
going to get everything on the table.
I might have something that's going to go really well with those poppers that Carl is putting together. 1.5 ounces of vodka.
Carl would appreciate that.
There you go. Oh, shoot.
You have to have a little bit of a sting.
That's right.
When you're drinking Bloody Marys. It can't all be just tomato juice. You
Yeah,
need
you
a little
gotta-
bit of vodka.
You got to get your veggies in there. All right, so now we're gonna hit it with some chili flakes, get it nice and spicy, some black pepper.
He smelled the Bloody Mary
I
and
know
said,
it.
this is going to be a good stop for
He
the
saw
night.
us over here shooting and making Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Decided to back on down. Pretty classic way to hang, if you ask me.
I'm with you.
All right, so we're gonna go and shake this up.
Yep.
Got these guys.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Get to work.
That's right.
I'm just overseeing here.
Yeah.
Man, you make this look so fun.
So we got some pickled vegetables, and then let's do some beef sticks. And then we'll get some straws up here for everyone.
That looks delicious.
It does look
Thank you.
delicious.
I mean, that is a Saturday
champions.
game day Bloody Mary if I've ever seen one.
Bring it in, Al.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
When we come back from the break, hey, we're gonna finally get to eat what that guy's cranked up on the grill.
Don't forget to check out the Bama Tailgate promo and enter, and good luck. It's a way to build our Bama Tailgate community and also have a really good time doing it. So don't forget to check out thecommunity.io and then scan the QR code or click the link on the YouTube bio. That's all you have to do. But thank you guys for being a part of what we're doing here on the Bama Tailgate Show, and roll tide, everybody.
Just dig in, man. Whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
So have y'all got a favorite tailgate story?
A home game, Tuscaloosa against Georgia. And we were right next to some Georgia people, and we had the best time.
Bama won, right?
Yeah, but, you know.
I know you got some stories.
I do, man, but it ain't around a football field. Hanging out with John Boy for 28 years, I'm NASCAR.
Okay.
And one of my best times was Charlotte Motor Speedway. I got to cook for Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace and their families. That's my favorite story.
Right. Andrew, what's your favorite gig that you played? What's your favorite?
Favorite gig I played? You know, it'd probably have to be the first one I ever did, because I came in there so nervous, and it turned out to be one of the best performances I'd ever given.
You got social media and all that?
Yeah,
What's your social media?
About on TikTok, Facebook. If it ain't Andrew Applegate, it's Andrew Applegate Music, and that's everywhere. If you can't find it on one, it's one of the other.
Thank y'all for hanging with us here at Gatin and Grillin. And don't forget, check our friends out at The Community. Get in it to win it. And we're gonna have a whole lot more prizes to offer. So, you gotta play. You gotta play. We'll see you next time on Gatin and Grillin.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad with national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker, WJLX radio voice Brett Elmore, and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented to you by Pearl River Resort Casino in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play, featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, and celebrating 30 years of excellence. Also brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Let's toast. Hashtag to the Screwballs. R&R Cigars, home of the Alabama Victor cigar. Unique bar on the Strip, home of the NFL, MLB, Premier League package. Catch all the games at Unique, Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Pond Royale, located at 1019 McFarland and Northport. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com. And Styx's Tractor and Tree Service in South Alabama. Affordable pricing and customer service guaranteed. Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
Roll Tide, everybody, and welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, second hour of the show. And it is great to have our friend Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, Kevin Sport, who does our Gatin and Grillin segment, Jake Coker, and I'm Mick Gillispie. Roll Tide, everybody, as we talk to you from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Georgia play at 6:30, 2 versus 4. Thom, let me just start with you, man. We thought you were going to be with Bassmaster Radio, but we reeled you back in, man. Your thoughts on this matchup today?
Well, I'll tell you what, it is, obviously this is the first game of the year. Is this the first of one, the first of two, or the first of three? I mean, if you were setting a line for how many times these two teams will play this year, I guess you'd have to put it at about 1.5 because you think that they might see each other again down the road. But, man, it's going to be, I think, a great matchup. I think it's a slobber knocker, to be honest with you. I think two great defenses. And, I think Georgia's offense is a little bit challenged right now. But Georgia's got a wonderful defense. And I see it a low-scoring game. I think it's a 3 or 4 point win for Alabama. I think Bama will be able to run the ball, especially over the left side. I think that left side of the Alabama offensive line against the front of the Georgia Bulldogs, I think they'll have some success there. And I think you'll see them try and establish that a little bit.
As we hang out at Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa, Jake Coker, always great to see you. Kevin Sport from Conecuh. We call you Conecuh Kevin, man, because you sing the theme song. This guy sings the theme song for Conecuh Sausage, Thom. I mean, you got to appreciate that.
Yeah. I watched that whole barbecue segment. The two things that came from that was, one, I want some barbecue now. And two, old Taylor Hicks looks like he's been enjoying that barbecue a little bit too over the years. But not that I'm one to mention it, but old boy Taylor is packing on some barbecue. So that was like good stuff.
The guy knows good eating. The guy knows good eating, Kevin.
Yeah, he does.
He does good food, good music, good eating. That's right.
So
there you go.
When we look at this matchup between Alabama and Georgia, Tom's saying that, it feels like kind of the way he feels. What are you thinking about this right now?
Man, I've got so many Georgia friends here. And before I say anything about the game, if you don't mind, Nick, I got to give a heartfelt big prayer for our friends in Florida and South Georgia and all the way up, because I've been doing a lot of first responder stuff too, and I've already heard of one loss, and it's just heartbreaking. So I needed to say that before we move on, because gosh, I mean, the storm has been horrendous. So all of us here, we love y'all. We're praying for you, and we'll pick it up, man. We'll pick up and keep going.
Look, it's really been a tough couple days for those down there on the coast. I mean, Jake and I live on the coast, and we were kind of spared by the path of this particular storm. So definitely, man. Thom, when you look at this Georgia team, what do you think the advantages are that they have over Alabama?
Well, I don't know that there's too many areas that you would say, well, this is a definite plus for Georgia. One of the advantages they have is they play clean football. They just don't make mistakes, They do have a very solid offensive line, and they got a great quarterback in Carson Beck. And we're going to see a kind of, two different type of styles, obviously, between Carson Beck, a bit more of a traditional pocket NFL-looking quarterback, and a quarterback in Jalen Milroe that kind of, it was a great article earlier this week by Kennington Lloyd Smith in The Athletic asking the question whether or not Jalen Milroe could morph into Jalen Hurts, whether he has that kind of potential NFL career down the road. And so I think that the advantage that Georgia has is that they've got a quarterback that has the aspects of the passing game, all of them, the short pass, the intermediate pass, and the deep ball. Alabama with Jalen Milroe, obviously has the running advantage, but short and intermediate is where he has struggled. So, I think that that's really the only major advantage they have. Alabama's got the advantage, I think, in the running game. Georgia's pass defense has been outstanding so far this year. I think they're number one in the country in pass defense, so that's a thing. But it's hard when you look at those numbers right now, because you're looking at numbers based on, who's played what type of non-conference games and so on, and those numbers get kind of inflated a little bit. But, I think the biggest advantage Georgia has is maybe in the passing game with the type of quarterback that they have.
What do you think, Jake?
No, I agree with Tom. You know, the one thing about the scenario in which you might play Georgia once, twice, three times, I've talked about this with a couple of people, is, do you want to win the first game or it's hard to beat a team twice? You play them twice. Again, you want to win the first one, lose the first one, and then hopefully win the second one in the SEC championship. Terrible mentality, I know, but that's just the reality of the situation. And, second, Georgia, to me, obviously a great team, well coached. They're not going to hurt themselves. But to me, this isn't the same high-powered offense that we've seen with Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey and some other playmakers that they've had in the past. To me, this game comes down to when the plays break down, when you don't have the best play call made on the field, how are these players going to respond, and can they overcome some of the bad looks that they get? And I don't know if Georgia's able to overcome that. You saw against Kentucky. Kentucky brings a lot of different looks. I thought Mark Stoops coached a really good game, especially defensively, and Georgia had a hard time with them, and they didn't have the playmakers, in my opinion, at least on the field that night, that could overcome a lot of the coaching experience, the play calling that Mark Stoops brought to the table. So if we can just get them behind the sticks and put them in bad positions, I don't know if they're going to have a lot of explosive plays that will consistently be able to beat us. Now, again, we haven't been tested by Georgia yet. We haven't played that top-tier talent, but we're going to find out a lot on Saturday.
That's a great point that Jake makes, about playing somebody multiple times. The one good thing about this is it's relatively beginning of the season. The next one would be a few months down the road. It's not like when you play them in the SEC championship game, you turn around and play them 4 weeks later or 5 weeks later in a national championship game. But I think both sides and both fan bases, if this is 2017 either way, I think both fan bases go back to their corner and say, all right, see you down the road. The question will be what happens if somebody gets a little bit shellacked. If it ends up being, one of those deals, then, it puts a lot of doubt in it. And it'll also put a lot of doubt in the mind of the voters as to just how good the team that lost was. So, that's why I think it will be a close game, though.
I'm with you on that one, Tom. Tom, tell us about what you got going on in North Alabama at 97.7 ESPN the Zone.
Well, we had a little controversy today and yesterday on the show, wondering about what are we going to do on Monday, because my show is noon to 2. Paul Feinbaum follows me, and it'll be Alabama Georgia reaction. However, we're a Braves affiliate, and this Braves Mets thing is going to be a thing possibly. Those two, that 1 or 2 games that they're going to play on Monday will be very, very critical. So we put it to our listeners, and it was about a 50-50 split. Do you want the Braves and Mets, or do you want Tom and Paul, talking about what happened in the Alabama-Georgia game? So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how it all shakes out. But, of course, 97.7 ESPN the Zone is where I can be found. I'm on a station in Tennessee as well. And you can always get the app. Just look up the app at 97.7 ESPN the Zone app, and you can listen anywhere.
Love you, Tom. Let's do it again next week. That's Thom Abraham, the big dog up in North Alabama. 97.7 ESPN the Zone. We come back. We're going to make our picks from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this. Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, and it's that time where we talk about the picks from Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. And we are talking to you live from Tuscaloosa here at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. We got Kenny White back on from out in Vegas. We got Cruz in the house, man. What's up, dude? Look at this guy.
What's going on? Happy to be here.
I mean, this is a party. Kenny doesn't know what to think out in Vegas. He's like, what's going on with these guys?
Hey, he's never been to a place like it.
Yeah. No.
Kenny, you know Vegas, but you don't know Cruz yet. But I'm telling you, if you did, you would be like, man, this guy likes to have a good time.
Hey, next time I'm in Vegas, let's go get drinks. I got a few connects out there. We'll have a good time.
I love the idea. All right, guys, let's pick this football game.
I might know a guy or two.
Well, we got a couple of games to pick. And it's not like there's like a really thick slate of activity. for football this week. You know, we know the Bama game, but what about this number 19 Illinois against number 9 Penn State? Penn State's at home and a 19.5-point favorite. The spread is 47.5. Kenny, what do you got on this one? Just fire it out at us. Kenny White.
Well, Mick, it's a pleasure to be back on with you and the guys. I miss Reagan from last year. You had that whiskey drinking, cigar smoking crazy man, and I hope he's involved in some way somehow. Loved his picks. But, you know, I am a professional bettor now, and I do bet all these games myself. I looked up Jake today. I had a very high rating on Jake. Too bad he had injuries. I know how you felt because I was a baseball player and I had injuries too and had a shot. But Jake had an amazing career to win a national championship. I am very glad to be on the show with Jake here today. I'm under on this game, Mick. I bet it under 48.
How about for you, Jake? Yeah, say it again. All right. I don't know.
I missed it.
Fire away, Kenny.
I missed it. I bet this one under, Mick. You know, Brett Bielema, we know what we're going to get with Bielema. He was at Wisconsin, 2 tight end sets, power run game, very conservative football. It didn't work out at Arkansas. They didn't want to see that down there in the South. So he's back in the Midwest at Illinois, and he's doing his same old tricks. Very slow, methodical game, run the football. He is relying on his quarterback a little more this year, Luke Altmaier, because Altmaier's done well for him. But, you know, when he's got to rely on in a game like this, it's going to be the run game, shorten the game, give your team a chance to win late. Penn State's run the football as much as anybody, 66% of the time this year, and they've been very methodical on offense as well. But they have a top 5 defense, and that's why I really like this game under the total. Brett Bielema's under now since he's been in Illinois, 27 out of 40 games, over 67% of the time he goes under.
All right, there's Kenny. What about you, Cruz? What you got?
You know, I watched Illinois last week against Nebraska, and I thought that was a big test to them, that they can go into a hostile environment against a team with a lot of hype. I think that Penn State has not impressed me a lot this year. They're supposed to have a lot of hype behind this quarterback. I do like their running back, Singleton. I think he's a fantastic player. I actually like Penn State to win a really close game here. I think the game goes under as well. I think this is going to be a game that ends in 2.5 hours. It's going to be nothing but running the football, hard-fought defense. But give me Penn State in a close game.
All right, what about you, Jake?
Hey, Kenny, you're going to have to give me some advice here because I sit here and I watch Illinois beat Nebraska last week. I love Luke Altmaier, love Bielema, love what he's doing up there. The line, though, at 19.5, after a victory beating Nebraska, you got to think the public's all over Illinois on this one. I might be wrong. I haven't looked at it. I mean, just off the top of my head, I want to take Illinois, but given Vegas's line at 19.5, that's a mind game. I got to feel like Vegas knows something, and I want to take Penn State.
Yeah, Jake, it's a lot to do with how good Penn State is this year, offensively and defensively. They're definitely a top 10 team, and then playing at home does make a big difference. The majority of betting, and I say majority, a shift in betting, 60-40 by wise guys here in Vegas are taking the Illini plus the points because we're expecting a low-scoring game. So points will be at a premium. You can get that many points in a low-scoring game. There's definitely value with the Illini.
All right, Lance from Lance's Lock, our buddy from the next round. Give me your thoughts. Illinois at Penn State, hanging out with Kenny White out in Vegas on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. What's up, brother?
Illinois, one of only 2 teams that has defeated 2 top 25 teams early on this September. I agree with Jake. Jake is learning the game so quickly. Like, this number, Kenny, should be like 10.5 or 11. The way Luke Altmaier has played at quarterback, the way this Illinois defense has played, I just don't understand how you stretch this out to 18.5 to 19.5. I would have to lay the points just because I can't believe how massive this number is right now.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know you wanted me to respond to that one, Mick.
Kenny.
Yeah, you know, first of all, you got to get the lingo down. If you're going to lay the points, that means you're betting the favorite. So I'm not sure if you're being contrarian here and you're thinking it should be 10.5. So since it's not that low, you're going to bet the favorite. If that's the way you're going, people do bet that way, and there are people that are good contrarian bettors, but I'm not one of those. I make the betting line, and then I look at I make my line, and then I look at the betting line, and when I see differences, then I bet those games. Now, Penn State, I've got in my top 5. This is just a really good football team at home. The Illini, no doubt, they are knocking on the door of the top 25. They're in the AP top 25. But I don't buy into that. I don't even look at that. I just know that because somebody told me there are 2 top 25 teams playing in this game. But there's a pretty big difference in talent level at these 2 schools right now. Penn State's done a really good job recruiting. So this line should be in the 2 touchdown range. I think it's just a little too high because, again, I think it's a much lower scoring game. My total in the game is 42. That's what I'm looking at. My sheet right now, looking at the sheet, final score 31-10. I see more maybe a 28-13 game is more really what realistic to me what the score should be this game.
All right, then we got Bama against Georgia. I mean, like, it's not like there's a lot of great games this week, but Bama, the line's all the way down to 0.5 point, Kenny. I'm going to start with you again out there in Vegas. Kenny White's power ratings. You know I love you, Kenny. 0.5 point. Georgia's a favorite in Tuscaloosa, but it just keeps keeps getting slimmer and slimmer. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, this game opened pick'em at the Circa. They take the highest limits in Vegas. Right now in this game, I tell you their limits are taking $40,000. You can go up to the window and bet $44,000 to win $40,000 on Alabama right now. But they're at Georgia now, a 2-point favorite, I believe. No, I'm sorry, it's still pick. It's pick. They have the sharpest line in Vegas. I see 1.5 across the board everywhere, but at the Circa, it's pick. That's a good sign. I made Alabama 3.5 in the game. I thought they should have been the favorite. I think they have just as good a team as Georgia, and playing at home, it's definitely worth 5 points in my book. It's even worth more than that when Georgia plays a weaker team that's intimidated by that crowd, but Georgia won't be as intimidated as a smaller team. So 3.5 was my number. I like Alabama. I also like the game over the total. This total right now is sitting at 49. I made it 57. I think you have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the entire country going head to head. And Georgia has gone to a little bit more pass-heavy offense this year than they have run-heavy. And Kalen DeBoer has stayed with the Alabama tradition, run the football 65% of the time. But in this game, when Georgia scores, Alabama's got to score. When Alabama scores, Georgia needs to score. So I like Bama, and I like the over and the total here.
All right, LT, what do you think, man?
I wish there was a world I could get Georgia plus 3.5. I mean, we're talking about a team that's won 42 consecutive regular season games. I know Kirby Smart has had a Nick Saban problem, 1-5 against Nick Saban, well documented. I think Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a coach. This is a perfect spot for Georgia based on the fact on how much they struggled with Kentucky and Lexington and how Alabama ended up beating the brakes off of Wisconsin 42-10. Kirby has had 2 weeks to pour mouth this team. Carson Beck, I love Jalen Milroe, but Carson Beck is the better quarterback. I think Georgia still has an elite defense. And I'm going to play Georgia, a team that's won 42 consecutive regular season games, now getting a point. I will take the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't love this game, but if you're giving me an elite quarterback with an elite defense and a head coach that's won multiple national championships, I'll take a point.
And it's hard to argue with that. I'm going to swing it over here. Cruz, what do you think, man?
Look, you are in Tuscaloosa. You are in the greatest college football city in America. How in the world can you pick against them? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Georgia is a great team.
It's Tuscaloosa.
Hey, it's Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Look, Georgia, we know what they are. They have now, I think they are the program in college football. They've been it, I'd say, since 2021. They're an incredible program. Kirby's done a fantastic job. I will say, though, the blows that Georgia has at injury right now, especially on the offensive line, that's really concerning to me because this pass rush is coming alive with a guy like LT Overton, who transferred from A&M. He is playing like he was the former number 1 pick in the recruit in the country. I love our linebacker play. We're healthy in the secondary with Malachi Moore back. I think this game, the key to this game, you have to make Carson Beck uncomfortable. You have to, like they did in the SEC championship, you have to just make him miserable in that pocket. Not only, you don't have to get all the sacks, but you have to let him know that you're there. I think this is an LT Overton game. I think Kendrick Law is going to be the player at the end of the game that makes the biggest impact, not Ryan Williams. They've been waiting to unleash a guy like Kendrick Law out of the backfield, kick return, everything that we want to see from this. Give me Bama 28-21.
I like that. What do you think, pal?
That was pretty incredible. I'm going to follow that, but here's my take. I think Alabama. I think Georgia's obviously the more consistent team coming off. I mean, they're the old Alabama, that dynasty. I mean, they're not quite there yet. They're not what Coach Saban was, but they're getting there. I think Alabama, we've got a potentially higher ceiling than Georgia. I think they're playing really consistent football right now. But I think in Bryant-Denny, I think we play up to our potential and firing on all cylinders. I take Bama in this one.
All right, Kenny, tell us about the power ratings really quick.
Thanks, Mick. KennyWhiteSports.com. You know, Mick, I flood your email box every single day with information, Major League Baseball, NFL, and college football. It's the best deal in the sports betting world. $25 a month for every sport that I do. I'm working on NBA and NHL right now and college basketball, so those will be next. The college football, I don't know. There's just so many spreadsheets now and PDFs and stats and predictions and final scores. And I predict the final score in every single game that hasn't been played in the entire year, Mick. You know what the information's like. And again, best value in sports betting. Go to KennyWhiteSports.com.
Alabama Pals, people.
Hey, buddy. And it's always great to see you before they play the commercials. Kenny White out in Vegas. We'll be back. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this. Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show from Innisfree and Tuscaloosa. Lance Taylor from the next round and Lance's lock. We got Cruz hanging out with us right now, Jake Coker, and there he is, the guy that owns this is fine establishment. Trip. We got Trip in the house, and he brought Screwball presented. Look at all the Screwball swag. That's my nephew, Trip. Give him a shout out right there. Look, you didn't know that I was bringing more people down for me.
God,
from B-More, and we're hanging out.
Keep that tradition going.
Hey, I know. From DC.
Yeah.
DC Trip. But and you got the chilled Screwball, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Big day.
So what are you
biggest game of the week?
Yeah, it is. There's no other games though, man. Like, what's the other game that you're going to be watching today?
Auburn upset Oklahoma.
I mean, if Auburn would have beaten Arkansas and Oklahoma would have beaten Tennessee, this would be the other marquee game. But based on the fact that both lost, I don't think you've really got another marquee game right now in college football. Big, by the way, not to date us, but I met him. Tripp and I became friends in the fall of 1990 when we first started at the University of Alabama. And by the way, this place was not even close to what it was back then.
Nah. 16,000 students.
I hate that gleam in his eye, that old man gleam. I feel that.
I think there's more people in sorority rush than there were students in Alabama when we were here.
Yeah. So people have always thought that I have some bad qualities or good, depending on how you look at it when it comes to drinking. But Tripp is that one guy that I've seen. He does shots. Doesn't matter from when he was 18 to where he is now in his life. He's like can I cuss?
No.
He's a vampire.
He's a vampire. Yeah, please. We're on radio across the state of Alabama.
I'm used to going the other way.
I know. Look, we're all fans of the next round. Next week we're going to be at Live Oak in Nashville. Come by and see us. Come by and see us at Music Row. By the way, I got to throw a shout out there. You come by and
Live Oak, we'll see you up there next Saturday night or Friday or Saturday.
Friday, we'll be there Friday.
Yeah,
both. We'll be there Friday. Both. Just
there we
be
go.
there. All right, crack that open. Let's crack that open. I love this. Anytime you show up, Cruz likes that. When you show up, your thoughts as you're pouring these shots on this game, man. Give us your thoughts on the game.
I'll tell you what.
RMFT.
I've never heard Tripp say that Alabama's going to lose. I just want to say that.
Good.
Just first and foremost.
Hey. I'll say this.
Look at all those shots, though.
Kirby,
you're getting one.
If Kirby makes our boy Milroe throw
Don't
nothing
say
but
this.
throw nothing but 10-yard passes,
We're in
we're in
trouble.
trouble. We're in
Come
trouble.
on.
That 10 to 12-yard pass, it's either up or low. It's just, but he'll get it one day. Maybe tomorrow's the day. You know, I think our defense is gonna pop them hard. Georgia hadn't seen the defense like we have. Our front seven's gonna knock them around pretty good, which is gonna be fun to watch. You know, these guys. We got some young guys, and we got a few old guys that know what to do. And I'll tell you what, Georgia doesn't have that firepower they had last year. You know, and so we're gonna give it the best, and I think we're gonna be celebrating when we get back to Innisfree after the game.
All right. Well, you got the screwball, and I see Robbie over there handing out all the screwball stuff. So proud. I got family in town. Like that.
That's good.
Here, dude. Like they're here.
So we did our show earlier up the street, and we had people bringing shots by, and I'm like, I used to love shots, and I know Cruz is younger than we are, and then Jake.
I know. Look
at I stay away. I try to stay away from them. Yeah.
But the three of us at the end of the table.
Oh, geez, man.
Yeah, but you ain't supposed to be doing shots during the day at our age.
Maddie, there's your
No,
shot.
she doesn't need one.
She needs one.
Hey, cheers.
Hey, roll Tide, everybody.
RMFT.
Roll
RMFT. RMFT. Down the hatch it goes as we hang out with you at the original Bama football tailgate show, Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. You know what I respect about Trip the most? People have been giving him hell about his haircut for years, but he keeps it going. As hard-headed as, he sticks to his guns.
Yeah. All right.
You never age when you're bald.
I love that. So you feel good about Bama. We're going to get Cruz back on next segment. Your final thoughts on this game?
I agree with Tripp. Like Alabama or Georgia has not seen a defense like Alabama, but I don't think Alabama's seen a quarterback like Carson Beck. He struggled against Kentucky for whatever weird reason. They always struggle in Lexington, at least under Kirby Smart. Carson Beck is coming off 160 passing yards. That is his worst, at least statistically, start in his 17 career starts. I think Mike Bobo is going to take shots early and often up top of Alabama's defense. And what you said, Kirby and Glenn Schumann are going to do whatever they've got to do to make Jalen Milroe make decisions early and often, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't feel great about it, but I've got a feeling that Georgia wins the game, but I don't feel great about it.
Okay, well, look, it's great being back.
That's why we play the game on Saturday.
Hey, Trip, where's the security at?
Let's get this guy out of here. Trip, thanks for having us back.
Absolutely,
man.
I appreciate y'all coming here.
Dude. It is so great to be back and seeing you. LT, tell us about Lance's Lock.
Yeah, please jump on board. We're coming off of 3-0 as we're running on. We were 3-0 last night. We killed it last weekend in college and the NFL. The weekend before, we're killing it. Jump on board. We've got 3 plays available right now. Full slate on Saturday, full slate on Sunday. Lance'sLock.com, only $100. That will get you the entire month, Lance'sLock.com.
All right, there he is, Lance Taylor, Lance'sLock.com. We're going to have Ryan Taylor. We're going to have Cruz on next segment. We'll wrap it up. Alabama, the original Bama football tailgate show, right here from Innisfree as Alabama gets set to take on the Dogs. Welcome back to the original Bama football tailgate show from Innisfree and Tuscaloosa. Live Oak next week, man. Come hang out with us. We'd love to see all of you guys as Alabama plays Vandy, but hanging out here in Tuscaloosa, one more segment. It's great to see Cruz Oxenreider. Great to see Ryan. I know, Cruz. Come on, man.
It's Crux. It's Crux, okay? Get it right.
Did you say Crux?
It's Crux, baby.
That was a shot. I mean,
look, hey, Crux Oxenreider is a legend, all right?
He's
All right, Greg.
I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
It's great to see Ryan Griffin from Pro River as well. But
what's going on, guys?
Bruce, it's great to see, man.
It's gonna be here. I told you, anytime you ever want me on, anytime I'm in town, we're doing this. I got this.
Before I bring Ryan on and talk about Pro River, like what happened with Greg? I mean,
Man,
that's the craziest
he
thing.
does not like me at all. Look, I think there's a fine line between being in media and being biased to your own team. Like there are people like me. Like I and it's very open. Like I didn't grow up a Bama fan. I went to the University of Florida my freshman year, and then I transferred in. So I was like, I got spoiled. So I came in, and then you guys got like Reese Davis. Reese Davis is a class act. Yeah, sometimes like people don't even realize that he's like on like with the Bama. Then you guys got like Greg, who just like has to be the most smug, smartest person, which normally he is. I'll give him that. He's an Oxford scholar.
He's the smartest guy in the room.
He is, but he has to let you know
out
it.
of this.
But you have to. Hey, don't.
I'm out.
Hey, we're from the 251. All right.
Yeah.
That's as high as we can count.
Yeah, right.
So I love everybody.
Alabama right here, right? That's South Alabama stuff.
So what happened was it was a whole Caden Proctor thing about him, developing relationships.
We just thought maybe because they were talking to him during the season.
Yeah, and I
our friend Shank thought the same thing too.
251 as well. But I mean, look, if Mo Wheel's getting dissed, I was like, so look, Shank is one of the coolest people you'll ever meet.
I love Shank.
So when all that came
smartest
about,
dude too, man.
Well, I mean, he's from Mobile. It's not saying a lot.
Okay, you know how it is.
I'm kidding. Shank's incredible. He's an incredible person. I love him to death. If you don't follow him on Twitter, give him a follow. He's awesome. But the whole thing that happened is I made a comment about I made like a joke about Iowa, and Greg saw it. And the next day I get like blown up saying like, I'm really tired of like people saying I hate my school. I never once said you hate your school. Dude, I clearly you love your school. You went to Bama. You won a national championship. You're one of two quarterbacks under the Saban era to ever go undefeated. Besides Jake. Jake actually went statistically.
I'll take that technicality. I'll take that technicality.
Technically, Jake is one of three quarterbacks ever
we got that victory back, by the way.
I know.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing the NCAA got right.
Hey, shout out Cooper Bateman. He technically got a dub. Okay.
NCAA gave us the victory.
Hey, it's all good.
That's what he's saying.
But anyway,
you know what? Hugh Freeze gave me my first offer. D1 offer. Well, and he gave me that victory back.
No argument. No argument there.
How was your recruiting visit? No lie. But and then the radio show came up, and he said the Cruz Oxenreider thing. It's like, dude, you've talked to me multiple times. We had a great conversation in a casino in Harris Casino in New Orleans. He took a shot at me. I could take it. Like, I know what I am. I know I'm a social media personality. I know what I do is very obscure, but
no, dude. But the obscure, man, you do a great job.
I appreciate that. But like, I can take the criticism I've done in my entire career. But to make fun and go at a guy who was an all SEC lineman who worked his butt off. I'm not gonna cuss. I know we're on radio.
And he's talking about Shank.
Yeah, and to say that's where I had the problem.
This is a Shank show.
So he could have made fun of me.
Well, tell him what I said. I love Shank. I'm like a Shank super fan.
I'm right there with you.
But you said it like I've never seen him so excited about somebody coming on our podcast. We all love some Shank.
I love some Shank, man. And the fact that you can come at me all you want, I'm used to it. I deal with Twitter trolls all the time. I deal with the social media, but to come at an actual player who won a national championship at the University of Alabama, and to call him lazy, and then he uses his social media as like to stay relevant. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, first of all, look, Greg, I know you're a D1. Greg would beat the crap out of me. He's a D1 quarterback.
He's a lot bigger in person.
He is, and I learned that at the Final Four when I met him in person again after the whole thing. So I was at the Final Four and I run into Greg. I get introduced as Crux to him. In front of his wife. And by the way, his wife was very nice, and he was there, and he kind of laughed it off, but you just know in the back of his mind, he's like, I hate this guy. And I'm like, oh God. And so it just developed into this thing where it's like, and I told you guys this the first time. I was like, if there is a reason why a guy from Twitter is getting more support for standing up for someone than a national championship winning quarterback, I mean, that should tell you right there, like your own fan base doesn't think you like your school, you don't like us, or you think you're too good to be there.
Dude, I know you like us.
I know. And it's frustrating because, like, before that
But do you like the nickname Crux?
I love it.
I think it's a great nickname.
There's a Twitter account. Literally,
Oxenreider?
there's a Twitter account that is a burner that is literally Crux Oxenreider. And he comments on every single thing Greg does on Twitter.
He
awesome. Does. And I met the guy and I'm like, hey, do you think this is weird? I'm like, no, keep doing it.
Just do it, bro. Keep it going. Jake had a fake Jake Coker account.
He did.
The Coker deep
Remember
ball.
that?
I know who runs it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I need to meet that guy because
in my fraternity.
Are you serious?
Really? Okay. All right.
That guy is brilliant.
He loves him. Oh, dude, since our senior year of college, so me and Jake graduated at the same time in 2015. I've known who it was the entire time. And it's the funniest thing. I don't know if it's still active, but it is so funny. I remember that.
The jokes, just the stuff that he comes up with.
I mean, it's incredible. So funny enough, he is he's from Birmingham too, so he didn't even go to Mobile or anything like that. But like, I used to know.
It's time to crank it back up.
So I had no social media in college, but Richard Mulaney used to bring those to me, and I mean,
awesome.
It is some of the funniest stuff. You could bring those up and you would laugh. So I mean, it's great.
Let me introduce Ryan Griffin. He's from Pearl River Resort.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Rhino, good to see you, brother.
Glad to be here.
I love this guy, by the way. I'm just going to tell you that. This is my guy. Rhino, all this stuff that's going on, and you're like, man, I just want to tell everybody about Pearl River Resort. Tell them about Pearl River, please.
Well, you've been there.
I love Pearl River.
I love Pearl River. I went with Mincy.
Oh, yeah?
He went with Mincy.
You know Mincy.
30 years.
Don't lie.
Yeah, you know Mincy. 30 years, though. Man, you got Gary
We just
Allen.
celebrated 30 years. Yep. We've got 2 great hotels, Silver Star, Golden Moon, 2 casinos. We got 2 great golf courses at Dance Rabbit Golf Club. Fabulous dining, wonderful sports book.
They're giving away money at Pearl River. Ryan's staying at a budget inn this weekend.
Yeah, we got Gary Allen coming in October. We got Scotty McCrary in November. You can check it all out at pearlriverresort.com or check us out on all the socials.
Yeah, look, man, it's been fun hanging out over there. And plus our guy, Steve Azar.
Yep. You got to hang out with Steve Azar last
He's
time.
got Bloody Mary mix. You know that.
Yeah. I don't want to be me till Monday, right?
I know. He knows about
That's right.
He knows about this and the Bloody Marys. Like he listens to the show. We play all the commercials for it. But man, it's great. You know it's a big game when you're in town.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. Man. Great atmosphere, great time this weekend.
All right,
so
well,
excited.
As we kind of get to the end of this particular show here today, I want everybody's final thoughts on the game. Let's start with.
Well, look,
I don't call him Crux Oxenreider.
No, you know what the crazy part is? I saw him when we saw each other last time in Galette's. First thing he says to me, is that Crux Oxenreider?
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah.
I love it.
I've embraced it, honestly. I have former players call me that now. And it's incredible. I'm just gonna take it. I went to look, I think this is going to be the game of the year. I think this is going to be an incredible atmosphere. I don't think we've seen anything like this since 2019 Bama LSU. I mean, God, we have a presidential candidate in the house. Coming. They're bullet. They actually told me today they bulletproof the glass for his box. That's insane. But look, I think it's going to be an incredible game. I think it's going to come down to who makes the first mistake. You got to make Carson Beck uncomfortable. But, again, you also have to make Jalen Milroe human, which we know that he's not at times. I think at the end of last year, Jalen Milroe is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think this is going to be a massive stage for Jalen to make his Heisman campaign. Jalen just needs to be Jalen. And I think that's what's going to happen. Like I said, I have Bama winning 28-21. I think Carson Beck throws a gut-wrenching interception in the fourth quarter that kind of seals it for us, or LT Overton gets a big sack. I think that's going to be the deciding factor. But, man, I cannot wait to be in Bryant-Denny Stadium tomorrow night.
Coker?
I'm on the same page as our boy Crux.
Let's go! Crux Oxenreider approved right here.
No, look, Georgia's a very consistent football team. I don't think it's the same Georgia that we've seen last year, the year before that. I think Alabama puts them in some uncomfortable situations, gets them behind the sticks. I really love Kane Womack. I think he's going to put them in some bad situations. Jalen Milroe, to me, one of the most dynamic players in the country. He's basically another running back there, and I again, the throwing ability, I can't stand the just the criticism he takes. He makes a lot of throws a lot of quarterbacks can't make, and I understand, that there are some struggles there, but I think mostly that is he hasn't had the receiving core and the support system that a lot of quarterbacks, including myself, have had at Alabama. A lot of guys, there was an establishment there when I was there, a lot of leadership. We were young, but at the same time, Alabama was Alabama, and we had a lot of guys that were bought in, and we didn't have a new coaching staff. I love Jalen Milroe's talent. I love his leadership capabilities, and I think he's going to lead Alabama to a victory Saturday night.
All right, Rhino, it's your last. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Rhino agrees.
I really think this is going to be the game of the year. It's huge. There's nothing bigger. There's no better place to come watch a game either. So I'm fired up, man. Excited.
Hey, look, I think that this is what it's all about, man. This is what you get into college football for these type of games. The good news is if Alabama loses, it's not the end of the world. This isn't what it was 10, 15 years ago. It's just it's a big game, but it's not the be-all, end-all football game.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier. You may play Georgia twice. You may play them three times.
Yeah. Let's get it done at home.
I will say that attitude, and I've been told this by a few people in the locker room, even the player, they don't have that mentality. They want to make a statement with this game. They want to make Georgia the hunted. They know Alabama knows that they're the hunter coming into this game. That's the mentality that they have. And it's a great mentality because, I know the 12-team playoff is going to be a little you have a mulligan. They're not approaching it like this. They're approaching this like it is an SEC championship game. They're approaching this like it is a college football playoff game. That's the type of atmosphere it's going to have.
Well, Alabama's been, Georgia under Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart right now is the best head coach in the country. I played for him. I think he is a phenomenal coach, and he is going to take Georgia to places that they've never seen before. But Alabama's still Alabama. I believe the record right now is still 1-6 since Coach Smart's been at Georgia, and they hadn't overtaken the throne yet. All right, and so
it ain't happening today.
Yeah, we got something to prove. As crazy as that is, but we do have something to prove. These players know it, and they're playing for the Alabama legacy. I love Alabama. I think we're going to pull it off tonight.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Kevin Sport, good to see you, my man. And for our entire crew, thank you for hanging out with us today. Enjoy the football game. We'll be back next Saturday from Live Oak in Nashville. So make sure, and if you're coming to town, come by and swing by and see us at Live Oak in Nashville for the tailgate show, or come by. That's going to be the Bama Bar when Bama takes on Nashville. But roll tide, everybody. Thank you.